So, BONELAB, the most hyped up VR game of all time. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm gonna try to make an unbiased review, and no worries about spoilers, this video will only use footage from sandboxes and minigames. Let's get some things out of the way. First off, the story is disappointing. It was a bit more clear than Boneworks' story, but still really confusing and terribly short. We're talking 5 hours short. That's around 2 hours less than what Boneworks took me, and I was going slow. With that said, there are 2 songs that are just hands down the best songs I've ever heard in a video game, especially in VR. That being Put It Down and Would You Even Know. Other than that, the soundtrack is great, but I liked Bone Tones more. The physics, on the other hand, are improved. A bit janky, but so is Boneworks at launch, and I'm confident it'll be fixed. The fact of how easy it is to download avatars and maps is astonishing, and the avatar swapping is really neat. I love the capsule idea, and to those who haven't played it yet, pull them apart. There are no reclamation bins like there were in Boneworks. All items are via these capsules. There are almost no new enemies, which is fine due to it being a sequel. Ford's available as a playable avatar and as an NPC for the sandboxes, which makes me happy. Gunplay is a bit janky, but again, no more than Boneworks had on the first day, so it's no worry. I love using the new guns, they feel great. Guns have a weight, they fire well, and are modeled great, per usual for stress level 0. Melee has been improved a bunch, yet also hasn't in a way. It just feels better to actually hit things, but the objects seem to be missing something. The first chapter of the game, the tutorial, is stupidly confusing for new players. I'm not saying anything about the story part of this chapter, but there is nothing except for some text on your hand. It also tells you to open a menu to access the inventory, when it's much easier to use your backpack. I've had tons of fun in the sandbox. At writing this, I've put a good 10 hours in just sandbox play and minigames. Also, blood exists now, which is cool, I suppose. The driving is really fun, and the secrets in some of the sandbox rooms, which I'll leave for you all to discover, are amazing. Now for my first major letdown, the graphics. They are actually worse than Boneworks, however, there is a reason for this. Quest. BONELAB is the first stress level 0 game available on standalone, and the only difference between PC VR and Quest is lighting, which is incredible. I'm sure someone will make a mod for prettier textures, but for now, that's my main gripe. There's also a ton of bugs, but I expect them to be fixed quickly. If not, that's a problem. Climbing is more annoying than in Boneworks, your hand can get stuck in places, gripping is broken for some people, and one of the first few puzzles is very broken. Now, the Bone games have incredible lore, and without spoiling anything, I will say modding is part of the lore. Modifying BONELAB, adding avatars, maps, and eventually items, vehicles, NPCs, and entire levels is MythOS, is BONELAB. Unverified mods are titled illegal, while verified mods are legal by modding on standards. You can download mods straight from the game. I am so excited to see what people make. There's also the Marrow SDK, which allows for all of this to be done stupidly easily, which is just absolutely insane. That's all I have to say for now. I might make a review of BONELAB's story, so keep an eye out. Spoilers alert, obviously. Sorry for the short video. There will be a follow-up in a few months to a year, and I'll see you all in the verse.
Where the west commences, and gaze at the moon till I lose my senses, and I can't look at houses, and I